find out that this was trying to sacrifice my son. Everybody keeps coming for my child, and now this witch says she's gonna sacrifice him to her voodoo idols.
So apparently, Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchery, okay?
Y'all, the industry is on fire right now because Nicki Minaj just crossed the line that nobody ever thought she would. Word in the streets is that she allegedly has been accusing Beyonce of trying to sacrifice her son Papa Bear. For months now, people have been talking about the tension between Nicki and the Carters, but now it looks like this quiet feud just exploded into a full-blown war. According to reports, Nicki believes Beyonce has been dabbling in dark spiritual stuff for years, and she's convinced that B is plotting to use Papa Bear as some kind of lesson or punishment for speaking out. And here's where things get even wilder. Insiders claim that Jay-Z has officially had enough of Nicki's accusations, and he's allegedly preparing to fire back with legal action. It's messy, it's dangerous, and it's turning into one of the most shocking celebrity face-offs the industry has ever seen. So is Nicki being delulu, or is she really under attack like she has been trying to tell us? Let's get into it. Okay, so one thing about Miss Nicki Minaj is that she's going to constantly keep her foot on Jay-Z's and Beyonce's neck. You know, being a bad guy. However, this time the situation just might be a little more concerning than that, because allegedly Nicki may have cause to believe that Papa Bear might be under attack from Beyonce. Now, everybody knows that Beyonce has been fighting these witchcraft allegations for a long time, so this isn't anything new. But so far, all we have heard of her is allegedly using witchcraft against adults and other people in the industry, and never against children. So Nicki's claims about Beyonce and Papa Bear are kind of wild and shocking. But to be fair, Nicki did throw that first shot a couple of weeks ago when she brought Beyonce's kid into the beef that she had been having with Desiree Perez and Jay-Z. She tweeted, "Camel and rat, we are not fazed by botted tweets and bots in the comments. That's precisely why you broke now. Desiree got Phyllis since I said she ugly, now she uglier. Oh, B, Camel, let's talk about your kids today. That's on the docket, ninja. Shove this papers." Now this was during that same rant where she and Cardi went after each other's children and said some very nasty things about each other's kids. And during that fight, Jay-Z also caught some strays because Nicki tweeted some stuff like, "Jay-Z, take off that effing lace front," and "Jay-Z got mad that I wouldn't give him a beat that I had already begun legal paperwork for. The song I did with Weeknd on Queen. He said it's Beyonce's beat, and Hoberson just laid down and let them take it and then sue me for making a similar beat." Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce would have probably ignored all of this, but
Jay-Z has been facing a lot of heat. Epstein files, Harvey Weinstein, a GQ interview so tone-deaf it made his own fans turn on him. And now suddenly he needs a new name? Come on. And trust, Mace is warning Jay that his time is finally coming.
You can believe what you want to believe.
Word.
You know, people behave the way they want to behave.
Mm-hmm. You was who you was before you got here.
Was who you was before you got here. Yeah. That's the makeup of your person.
Alright, so let's first talk about why this all matters to Mace. Well, it's simple. Mace was the first person in hip-hop to call Jay-Z exactly what he is. And everything Jay-Z is facing right now, Mace predicted it 20 years ago. Let's go back to 1997. Mace was the biggest thing in hip-hop. Harlem World went 4 times platinum. He had the #1 records and the Bad Boy Machine behind him. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was still trying to break through. Reasonable Doubt was struggling to go gold. And that's when Mace threw the first shot on Love Me, rapping, "All we hear is platinum that, platinum this, platinum whips, nobody got no platinum hits." He was calling out Jay for talking big without the numbers to back it up. But here's the thing, there was another, more personal reason behind the beef, and her name is Ariane. Ariane was the girl who appeared in a skit for Harlem World, where Mace confuses the names of his girlfriends.
But in real life, Ariane was one of Jay-Z's friend's baby mama, and Jay took issues with Mace putting her in that skit.
That was based on a young lady named Ariane that I put in a skit. Mm-hmm. And it was done really harmlessly. At the time I was 19 years old, so I was just, trying to create a vibe and show people what Harlem was like, from a real Harlem perspective. And it's just, she wanted to do it, so I let her do it. At the time I didn't know she was, one of his guys' baby moms or something like that.
So after Mace checked Jay on that song with 112, Jay responded on Ride or Die with a line, "Check your own videos, you'll always be number 2. And that was a shot at Mace standing behind Diddy in the Can't Nobody Hold Me Down video, wearing the number 2 jersey while Puff wore number 1. Basically, Jay was saying Mace would always be somebody's sidekick. But here's the part they don't talk about enough. According to Dipset's 40 Cal, Jay didn't just diss Mace on record, he actually pulled up on him in Harlem to establish dominance.
About 20 minutes later, Jay-Z pulls up in the 4.6 range that he always talked about, the black joint. He hops out. Mace said, yeah, all that cool, but who was you talking about on that song when you like, check your own video number? Jay was like, everybody know I'm talking about you.
Now fast forward to 1999, and Mace decided to walk away from the industry at his peak after Diddy allegedly tried to pull him into a freak-off situation. Mace was so traumatized with what he saw and the names that were involved that Mace went to church, became a pastor, and rejected the whole machine. Meanwhile, Jay-Z went on to have a decades-long close relationship with Diddy. Now look at where we are in 2026. Diddy's in prison, Jay-Z's name is those files, and he's changing his name just like Diddy did every time some allegations surfaced. Last week, if you pulled up Jay on Apple Music, Tidal, or YouTube, you noticed he's not Jay-Z anymore. Now the Y has 2 little dots over it. Now his team is framing it as a tribute to Reasonable Doubt turning 30.